Hello again, thanks for joining. It's time for a new Model Railway news update to keep you up to date with some interesting new announcements from these manufacturers. And we've got some new models to show you across a number of different scales. I'm just going to flash up this notification before I get started, short and sweet, and then we can get into it. Right, let's go. Rapido are first off the blocks this time around, and they have two new interesting items coming soon. The first is this, a range of newly tooled Great Western Country class locomotives in ModelU scale. It's coming in 10 versions in the initial run with a range of liveries, including the County of Chester, a rail tour condition that features the number restored to the buffer beam after the smokebox number plate was removed. Also available in the run is Country of Glamorgan, the loco currently under restoration by the Great Western Society. All models feature various detailing options, representing locomotives during their brief Great Western Railway service and later BR years. These include single and double chimneys, speedometer drives, smokebox number plates, buffers, oil pipes, running board pipes, and country nameplates. For those who prefer etched brass nameplates, a painted version appropriate to each model will be included in the detail bag as well. Key features of the models include a smooth running mechanism, factory installed speakers, NEM coupler pockets, an ESU 21-pin decoder socket, factory fitted MoPower stay alive capacitor, tender pickups, a vacuum cylinder between the frames, and a firebox flicker with a dynamic fire drawer effect. Prices have been set already at an RRP of $249.95 for DC and $364.95 for DCC with sound. No firm delivery date yet, but I'll keep you updated here on this channel. Of note here is that there's some competition for Rapido in the form of a new railroad version from Hornby of the country locomotive number 1019, and this comes with two matched coaches as well for a much lower price of $179.99 and will be here in the springtime, so any day now. I guess it's good to have the option of a model that matches your budget, but remember, the Hornby one is older tooling. Rapido also announced this distinctive brake van model coming soon too. It's the first ready-to-run 00 gauge model of a Great Central Railway brake van featuring the same high level of detail as their previously released pre-grouping era brake vans. There's a wealth of separately fitted parts including brake gear, running boards, vacuum pipes, rails, lamp irons and a chimney. The interior is fully detailed with a guard's desk, stove, sandboxes and lockers. Side lamps provided in both stowed and deployed positions are included in the detail bag for added realism. As usual, there will be a whole raft of livery options and the price is set at an RRP of $46.95 each. Again, no firm delivery date as yet. Finally, from Rapido there's a production update with some photos now here of the prototype of the Midland 483 steam locomotive in 00 scale. It's certainly a handsome looking loco and the model captures that look very well. I especially like the wheels on it, which are sure to look good moving on a layout. Apparently there's many tests still to be done on these prototypes and we're still a way off having a model in the hands of the retailers, but it's certainly shaping up to be another wonderful model from Rapido. On to Roco now. It's one of my favourite manufacturers and they've released some new models in HO scale which will be available in the UK very soon. And the first is the French SNCF 230F steam locomotive from Era 3 and numbered 607. This is a wonderful model that features the short chimney and has the rivet tender and Wagner smoke deflectors. The model has Plux 22 along with directional lights and driver's cab and valve gear lighting installed which is switchable in digital mode. This is coming in around £390 for analog DC version with no DC or AC sound versions just yet, maybe next month. However, what is coming with DCC and sound is the super small BR89 of the Deutsche Reichsbahn. This is the first time it's coming with Next 18 DCC interface and sound fitted as standard. Also has directional LED lights too and priced here around £320. Onto a new electric loco. This is the Mercatalia Rail E412 in Era 6 livery as number 013. This is a classic electric loco of the Italian railways and this livery looks pretty good too. The model has some great electrical gear modelled on the roof and overall makes for a solid electric loco model. Priced here around £190 for analog DC with I suspect digital versions coming soon too. We also got a good quality photo of the newly released BR151 in the Locomotion livery. Nice name. This is from Era 6 too and the livery looks very well applied. A great dynamic look to it. Pretty standard feature set and certainly eye-catching. This is coming in all three flavours with DC being around £240 and £100 more for the digital sound fitted versions. Some new rolling stock is out this month, starting with this coach, the DB Regio Type ABCM 222.1 first and second class coach in Era 5 livery. Pretty standard style coach this, and around £60 here. Also from Poland there's this twin pack of PKP Type BWXD second class coaches in Era 4 livery with different running numbers for around £110 a set. And for wagons we have this twin pack of the Type KBS and Type RES stake wagon in Structon Rail bright yellow from Era 6, just a new livery on older wagons, for around £80. And finally for this month we have a triple pack, also at around £80. It's the Dutch NS heavy duty stake wagon set, 3 identical models except for the running numbers here. And just as I was finishing off this video, Roco made a surprise additional announcement of this BR218 in the red and grey DBAG livery from Era 6, here with yet another new number on it. The same model really, but allows you to have a different one over what was previously released. This one is coming in Q3 and is priced quite good for DC at around £170 or £90 more for DCC with sound. More coming from Roco soon, I'm sure. Tillig also gave us some new additions to their range in both TT and HO scale. We'll start off with TT scale and this BR78 here from the DRG. An impressive tank engine being offered now with a Next 18 digital interface. It has the usual directional LED lights. I think this model is particularly impressive and especially so for a TT scale one. Priced in Europe at an RRP of €274.79. Always weird prices with Tillig. Next is a model of a very early Era 3 DB electric loco, the E40. Here in the green and black two-tone, this model has the option to pick up from overhead wires if you want, or normal two-rail of course. It has a NEM 651 digital interface and has the usual directional lights. Price is set at €235.91. Next, it's yet another Ludmilla. This one is the BR241 of the DBAG in Era 6 specification. The model has directional lights too, and NEM 662, but you can also easily add sound to this model, as well as automatic digital controlled couplers. Yes, in TT scale. The price for this is the same as the electric loco at €235.91. Some rolling stock too, with this one being a Polish PKP cargo version of the Type FBS open wagon and coming in their budget range, so-called Start. It's priced just €25 RRP. And their coach range gets this additional Type BD4UM-61 second class and baggage coach to match in with other DB green coaches they sell. And here is another such coach. This is a new number on the Type BC4UM-62. This one's a bit more expensive for some reason, but remember both coaches can be easily fitted with lights, with a kit also sold by Tillig. A couple of new HO items were announced too, starting with this coach. Really just a new number on a previously released model, cheaper than the similar TT scale coach we just saw mind you. And a couple of wagons. This is the DBAG version of the Type RMMS 662 heavy duty wagon in Era 5 specification, which is here fitted with a steel load for $69.50. Or you can opt for the same wagon in DR Era 4 spec with a steel beam load, this time a Type RMMS 3960, and it's priced the same as the last wagon. There's also some new figures and accessories from Preiser just announced in HO scale, including 3 new sets under the Funfair 75th Anniversary series. There's the toy stall, shooting gallery, and the China plate stall. All come with a selection of suitable figures and are priced at around £45 a set. And also just released is this accessory set of parcels for just £15. Pretty handy to have, especially on platforms or dispatch yards. Maybe make your own Royal Mail depot? It's been a while since I last talked about ModelU, but they are back with a new figure pack in aid of a good cause. You might have heard of the Severn Valley Railway's recent landslip that caused damage, and in response to that, and to boost funds, ModelU have produced this set of 8 figures, which are scans from volunteers at the railway. These are being sold with 50% of the sale price going to the Resilience Fund to help fund the repair to the railway. A very worthwhile cause and a very interesting set of characters in various poses. They are coming in all different scales with varying prices, so head on over to ModelU website to select the size you want and help fund the SVR repairs. So there's quite a lot going on with Dapol at the moment, so we'll start off with N scale. They have just announced a new run of their ever popular Dogfish ballast wagons. There's going to be 3 colour options, and each of these options has 2 different running numbers, making the run a total of 6 different options for you. Each of these good looking hoppers feature a finely moulded body with many separately added details, accurately applied livery and painted details, and NEM coupling pockets with self-centering couplings. These should be in the shops very soon and come with an RRP of just £20 each. By the way, these images are the previous run models, but the new run promises to be identical. Also from Dapol and in N Scale, we have an update showing the artwork stage for their upcoming GWR Manor steam locomotive. There's images of all 6 livery variants planned in the first run, and we should be seeing actual livery sample models around mid-year. The final models are still expected to be released during Q3 or maybe Q4 2025, and this looks to be a really interesting addition for N-scale modelers, and you can see from these images that there's a lot of choice on offer, covering all the key eras of this loco. Also, these front and back views show some of the detail being included in the model, such as the front lamp in white and the firebox paintwork decoration picked out, even dials on the gauges. If they get that right, that will be a really nice model. I'll keep you updated on this when we get to see decorated samples. But it's not all N scale from Dapol at the moment, as we also have a new release for O and HO scale. Following on their relentless run of vans with brands, this time it's another brewery featured on the vent van. Titanic Brewery gets their brand displayed this time around, and there's White Star, Cappuccino Stout and Atlantic Red logos on these grey vans. These all have an RRP of £13 each. And for O scale, it's the LMS 12-ton van with the same logos, this time the van being brown and priced at an RRP of £55.51. No beer is included, or even a beer mat. And there's yet more, as we've been told about a reissue of the popular LMS Stanier coaches. These were offered before as either ready to run or kit form, and we've not seen them from Dapol since production ended in 2018. But they're back again, with this time a raft of new features, including new separately fitted underframe details, which includes a dynamo, vacuum cylinders, brake shafts, and extra framing. The models also benefit from upgraded bogie pivot fixings, metal wheels, NEM pockets and repolished glazing. So a more refined model up to today's standards and coming in at an RRP price of £35 each. The first batch is due around Q2 this year, which will be the unlined carmine livery options, with lined LMS maroon and lined BR maroon coming later in batch 2. No firm delivery date for batch 2 yet though. Next is an interesting development from Kernow Model Rail, who have taken the plunge into TT scale by offering their first ever exclusive model in this scale. This is the age-old 7-plank open wagon, which is a Pico model here replicating the black and white livery of Franks & Co., a former coal, gravel and salt merchant based near Guildford railway station in Surrey. Aside from the livery, there's no difference here to the model as already released from Pico, but it is an interesting direction Kernow are taking in starting to cater for TT scale. Available to purchase now from the Kernow website for an RRP of £21.99. Note that this is just over £2 more expensive than buying a similar wagon from Pico themselves. Naughty, naughty! Still, this model represents the opening up of Kernow's exclusive range into TT120 scale, so let's see what additional items come along. Anyway, that's the video folks, thanks for watching. No more news for 2 weeks. I'm off to Poland on a filming trip, so watch out for some interesting new stuff soon, and there'll be news when I get back. In the meantime, there'll be some model reviews on this channel to tide you over. Don't forget to subscribe to keep yourself up to date, and I'll see you on the next one.